this is Greg Kelly. Donate now to Toys for Tots, which works year-round. Go to toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots supports children in need throughout the year with programs like the Toys for Tots Literacy Program. Established in 2008, it has provided over 63 million books to disadvantaged children. The Toys for Tots Literacy Program is committed to providing disadvantaged children with direct access to books and educational resources that enhance their ability to read and communicate effectively. Go to toysfortots.org.
Excuse me! Taxi!
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
There's been some big news in the race for governor there, and the person who's in the lead joins us now, Steve Hilton. He is a Republican running there for governor in the great state of California, where there's enormous flight, needless to say, of late. And Steve, congrats on the new polls.
First thing, what is the price of gasoline today?
Oh, no.
Oh, gosh. So we drove past. So we were driving from L.A. to the Central Valley last night. We went past. Was it? I'm looking at Eric. Was it $7.39?
$7.39.
Ouch.
$7.39. So they're all blaming Trump, of course. But
absolutely.
And the Iran, because that's what they do. They blame him for everything, even though gas is always, thanks to Newsom and the insane climate extremists, at least $2 more than the rest of the country, often even more than that, entirely because of their policies. What makes me laugh, you got all these Democrats I see out on cable news or whatever right now, being up in arms about, we have $4 gas thanks to Donald Trump. We've had $5, $6 gas for years in California thanks to Gavin Newsom. None of these Democrats said a word about it.
Yeah, you're right. It was crickets. By the way, speaking of kind of crazies, all these No Kings protests that happened, a lot of people are talking, Steve, about on the wall. Somebody wrote, "Kill your local ICE agent." They got really violent. They were not peaceful protests there.
No, it's disgusting. And I'm very happy to see that my friend Bill Essayli, who's doing a fantastic job as U.S. Attorney for the Central District, which covers L.A., has made clear that that is a felony, that is a crime. And he wants information so that it can be prosecuted. Because even though we have complete lawless, anti-police idiots in charge in California, at least we now have, thanks to the president, we have an administration, a Department of Justice, at least in the federal part of the system in California, where we're now actually prosecuting crime. Think about that. Bill Essayli is doing a great job, for example, prosecuting fraud in the homeless industrial complex in Los Angeles. Now, the good news is when I'm elected in November and take office in January, you're going to have in California a positive and constructive partner for everything that the administration is trying to do in terms of opening up energy production, enforcing immigration law, finding and stopping fraud. It's going to be a whole new day when I'm governor and start work next year.
Yeah, you're right. Boy, what a difference that would make. That's an amazing comment. Think about the sun will come out. The sun will start shining, Steve. Let's go to Judge Weinberg.
Steve, it's a great pleasure to talk with you. And whatever happened to rebuilding L.A. after those awful fires? How did the Democrats do with that?
Okay, let me just quote you something that tells the whole story. This is Karen Bass, about 4 or 5 months, the mayor of L.A., about 4 or 5 months after the fires. She did a press conference, and I saw on social media she put a post that said the following: "I have just signed an executive order streamlining permitting so we can quickly rebuild L.A." So I saw that. I thought, great, finally. 4 months late, but whatever. Then I watched the clip of what she actually said, and here is what she said word for word. "I have just signed an executive order tasking agency heads with developing paths forward to streamlining permitting." And you just think that's it in a nutshell. That's why nothing happens, because you've got these career politicians in charge, total bureaucrats, no idea how to get anything done, no business experience. They think that announcing something is the same as doing it. They think a process is the same as a result. That's why nothing happens. And that's why, by the way, people know me from Fox News or whatever. Most of my career has been in business. And that's going to be the difference. We're going to have someone as governor who has business experience, a problem-solving, pragmatic mindset. Look at the difference that's made at the national level with President Trump in the Oval Office we're going to see the same kind of energy here in California.
And Steve, we just have a little bit left, but speaking of business, I can't believe, I thought Tim Walz was a disaster and all the fraud that we saw in Minnesota. The numbers coming out of California with this hospice fraud, it makes him look like like Tonto, not the Lone Ranger.
Let me give you a new number that was just published yesterday by my organization that I set up. I launched 2 months ago, CalDOGE, the California Department of Government Efficiency. We borrowed from Elon. We are already doing the work. We're not even elected. We've published our 4th fraud report. The first 3 were finding specific examples of fraud. Yesterday, we looked at the publicly available data to try and get an estimate of the total amount of fraud in California. Here's the number. Over the past 5 years, $425 billion with a B dollars. $425 billion. That's about $80 billion a year. About 20% of the budget. Works out at $22,000 for every taxpayer in California lost to fraud, waste, and abuse. It is an absolute scandal. And when I'm governor, we're going to stop it and prosecute it and try and get the money back.
That is stunning. Norm.
And as you're being first and foremost, let me say to you that I wish you luck in your election and just be like Mike Bloomberg. Mike Bloomberg started with no salt, no straws, no this, no that, no large sodas, and it worked. Yeah, people are going to get upset at you in the beginning, but it worked. So best of luck to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Look, we're leading in the polls, leading on fundraising. We've got the energy, the momentum, hundreds of people coming to all our events. It's exciting. I think we can really do it here. There's a big thing that will help us win this year. Whatever they do with the SAVE Act, here's an important thing. We're going to have voter ID, thanks to a ballot initiative, will be on the ballot this year in California. Voter ID. That's going to help get a big Republican turnout in November.
When you have voter ID on your ballot, will you let illegal people vote for the voter ID?
Against the voter ID.
Exactly.
That's a trick question.
We'll see, but I'm very confident we can pull it off. We've got a lot going for it. People are sick of the nonsense in California. And by the way, look at the Democrat candidates they're putting up. As the president would say, they're not sending their best. You've got, Eric Swalwell, Katie Porter, come on, it's a joke. Tom Steyer, the billionaire climate fanatic. We really can win this year. I'm very confident of that.
Well, you got to come back on again soon, Steve. We love having you, and we're so happy to see you ahead in the polls. You deserve it. It's great.
Well, thank you so much. Anytime. See you soon.
Thank you. Steve.
Listen to this podcast now on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Why is the middle class shrinking? Why are people facing an affordability crisis while marginalized individuals called informals grow in numbers? Join me as I travel the world, speaking with people living in invisibility, the leaders working to solve it, and uncovering the hard truths shaping our economy and daily reality.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.